Scheduled power cuts, load shedding or rolling blackouts have been a feature in South African society since 2008. Fraud, mismanagement, corruption, lack of maintenance and lack of funds, Eskom has cited all these reasons for the erratic power supply. This has prompted some South Africans to seek alternative energy supplies.
The reason that we are moving towards alternate energy supplies is to ensure security of supply. And the reason that we need a security of supply is that fossil fuels are finite. We will eventually run out of fossil fuels at the rate that we are using them, and we will need other energies to step in to fill that gap. And what's happening at the moment is this marked uptake that we're starting to see of alternate energy technologies is going to be able to then be fully fledged and mature enough to fill that gap once we can no longer use fossil fuels.
Eskom's current power woes are taking place on the back of low economic growth and rising inflation. South Africa is also still trying to come to grips with the effects of the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. Rising unemployment, increasing energy, food and utilities prices are all putting pressure on already pressured households. And thus, those in the renewable sector are pleading with government to restructure its energy policies to allow players in the sector to help eliminate rolling blackouts.
Our policy environment is fairly contested. And with that, the sector is not growing at a rate that we require in order to prevent load shedding, for example, to happen. So we are sitting with a situation that is challenging for us economically, socially, politically, on all levels. Renewable energy does provide the potential to alleviate a lot of those distresses and constraints, yet we need to really unlock our government's decision-making processes and a whole lot of other aspects in order for the sector to grow to its full potential.
The country's power supply woes have created opportunities for alternative energy suppliers, but trying to source electricity outside of the national grid requires deep pockets.
After the Eskom power outages that's been more frequent lately, within a few years, we have picked up a lot of more people wanting solar products. Doesn't matter as in solar panels, inverters or generators also. Complete off the grid, that depends on your house. If you have a small house to a big house, it can all go from as little as, let's say, 100,000 to up to about 1 million or so.
With fuel prices ever on the rise, owning a generator is no longer a viable substitute for many struggling households. And in the most vulnerable groups, paraffin and coal are slowly becoming a luxury. But with the bitter cold winter and the unreliable and unstable power supply, some families just stick with what they know. Nothando, Magudulela, SABC News, Johannesburg.